there's a couple of things I wanted to point out when it comes to sending better emails. The first thing is that your email should come from a person, not a thing. All right.
What do you mean by that?
So you notice how we send it from Gary Kreth, not Kreth Partners. I see a lot of.
So you're from the individual, not the entity.
Yeah. The problem is people, as a recipient of email, that entities are not people. When you see that email, if you see that it's not from a person, you're going to suspect that it's some, marketing email or something like that, right? Or something that's not going to have. Here's the thing: when people think of marketing emails, they will often think of things that don't provide value to them, so they discount it, right? But the fact of the matter is, if people see that it is from a real person, it gets past a little bit of the filter, right? It gets passed through that filter of the BS filter, so to speak, of like what's going to waste my time and what's worth reading. And so that first big one is having your emails come from a person and not from an entity. There's actually a lot of gravitational pull for us to use entity over person. And a lot of that has to do with our desire to appear more professional, or our desire to appear bigger, better, badder than we actually might be. But the fact is, when it comes to sending emails out and stuff, it is better to be personal. That is what people want. It's what we want from. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the subject lines need to be great. What I mean by that is the subject line is essentially your headline. And if it doesn't provoke a response and get open, then it's not going to work. Now, the flip side of that is if you could provoke too hard, and when they open it, they'll be like, this is not worth my time. Like, I could completely change this. Instead of saying big announcement, I could say Gary Kreth is naked, and it'll probably get, or pictures of Gary Kreth naked, right? And the thing is, because we're mailing it to your sphere of influence, it'll probably get opened. But the problem is when they open it, they're gonna be like, what the heck is this trash, right? Like, what kind of clickbait is this? So then it has the opposite effect. Whereas what we've done here in this specific version is there's a big announcement. And I will say the word announcement is a attention getting thing. You can Google like how to write better headlines, and you're going to come across like lots of templates for writing headlines. The word announcement's a big one. But what I've added in there is what I like to use a lot of curiosity. I like to invoke curiosity in our marketing. That's why the ground owls and turtle races, because someone looked at that and says, all right, big announcement. Okay, that's worth maybe checking out, but plus ground owls and turtle races. What the heck is Gary? Because remember, it's coming from a person that they know. What the heck is Gary talking about? Ground owls and turtle races. That provokes out. Let me open and read out what that is. So that's the second thing, is make sure your subject lines are like headlines.